EBI 10, the Bantamweights, in Mexico City. Gio Martinez back to defend his Bantamweight belt. No other team has a belt. Not 10 Planet, not Gracie Baja, not Alliance. No other team has a belt. Gio is the last one. That's 135, and Eddie Cummings wants that belt.
To be in Mexico representing my weight class feels like an awesome opportunity. Obviously, soy Mexicano. I love, my culture, and I'm excited to go to Mexico and represent and compete out there, and just feel the energy from the Mexican audience. That's gonna be insane. I was there at EBI 1. Now we're here at EBI 10. It's been an exciting, fun journey, and I'm ready to take it to the next level and hit that next chapter. I'm very excited to see who could, try to step up and take my title. I'm originally a 135er. That's where I thrive. That's where I, kill it at. So I'm ready to go in there and, just do what I do. I'm just kind of turning up the notch, turning up the volume, just doing everything 10 times more than I was doing before. There's always more I can do, and I realized that the last couple tournaments that there's always a little bit more I can do, and this time I don't want to go to competition thinking that, man, I should have done this or I shouldn't have done that. I want to make sure I put myself through hell when I'm training, and I have the right training squad, and I'm putting myself through hell, because I know if you want to win EBI, you have to walk through hell and smile. My main coach, the guy who takes me to the next level and makes sure my game is on point, is Eddie Bravo. If he's not happy, then my game's not ready. Eddie's gonna tell me straight up. He's not gonna bullshit. He knows the game. He knows what it takes to win EBI. So he's not gonna try to bullshit me. He's gonna let me know what's up. And Eddie's always there to make sure that I'm ready and well prepared to win. I believe that our system is one of the most interesting, most complex system out there, and a lot of people don't really understand it yet. So a lot of people like to hate on it. And we're still new to the game, so we've been around for about 12 years, 11 years in the game, and I think we're doing pretty good, starting a whole new system. And Eddie's changed the game with 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and I feel like I'm one of their top soldiers. And when I go to war, I'm definitely representing 10 Planet. I represent 10 Planet anytime I get on the mats and compete. That's what I do. But I want to take everybody out, and if any of the dead squads and in my way, then I'm gonna try to take them out, because that's what we do. We try to beat each other. Don't get me wrong, I respect those guys. They're dangerous, they're good at what they do. But, I believe that we can catch those guys. I believe that we're ready for them. I believe the 10 Planet is on that level. There's nothing new that anyone's bringing to the game. We've seen it. I know they got good leg locks. I know what they do. I know they got good back control, and I respect it, but I definitely don't fear it. I want to compete against those guys, and I want to take them out. No, nothing personal. I just want to be on top, and I want my crew to be on top. What makes 10 Planet System so special is that we're not closed up in a little box. 10 Planet System is a little bit of everything. We specialize in rubber guard, we specialize in the truck, we specialize in, obviously the lockdown. Like, Eddie changed the game in those moves, and no one could take that away from him. And me being Eddie's student, that's what my foundation was based off: rubber guard, lockdown, truck, Japanese necktie. Those are all my foundations. That's my fundamental stuff. We gotta evolve, so I started working my open guard, spiral guard. I'm evolving with the system. I'm working on leg locks too. I'm a complete grappler. I'm not just one-dimensional. I don't just wanna focus on leg locks. I just don't wanna focus on chokes or, arm bars or whatever. I wanna be well-rounded. I wanna be complete. I believe that that's what makes 10 Planet unique. Eddie's not close-minded. He doesn't think he knows it all. Eddie's trying to evolve the game, and we're trying to evolve with the game. No matter what anyone says, it's all about evolving. And if you're not evolving, someone's gonna pass you up. So don't get satisfied where you're at. It's not easy out there. Once you're on the stage and, you can't rely on positions, you can't rely on controlling someone, you gotta rely on being able to finish them. That starts breaking people mentally. I already know what to expect. I already know it's gonna be hard. I know what's gonna happen. So, I'm ready, but the question is, are they ready? IBJJ champions, and are well respected in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. I want to take them out, because now they're coming into my world. I feel like EBI is my stage. I run that stage. It's either 10 Planet or Danaher guys that have been running the stage. All these other guys trying to come in, they better be ready, because it's not easy, and I see a lot of people break.
This is Gio Martinez's true weight class. The Bantamweight, that's where he runs the show. and he's not planning on giving up his belt. Gio's coming in like a true savage, and he's got game from everywhere. He's got rubber guard, he's got electric chairs, he gets around your neck. It's not looking too good for you. His leg lock game is stellar. His leg lock defense is on fire right now. Very, very hard at leg lock Gio.
Someone that I'm very curious to see how our match is gonna end up is, you know, the other champ, which is Eddie Cummings. You know, he took the 145. I give him props, but you're not gonna get the 135. That's my shit. I wanted that match. You know, it's been a few times that, you know, we had opportunities that we were gonna go up against each other and it just fell through. So I'm hungry and I'm gonna hit the final match. And if you hit the final match, then, you know, there's no other way to go. We're gonna have to face each other and people are gonna see who's the best 135er at that moment.
Gio Martinez has gone further in Abu Dhabi than any other 10th Planet player, and he's the only other 10th Planet player with an EBI belt. So he's right there at the top of the 10th Planet mountain. This is our top warrior going against Eddie Cummings if they both end up in the finals. And on paper they should. It should be a battle of Gio and Cummings' leg locks and his back attacks. I could see that in overtime possibly. The Danaher Death Squad, they want all the EBI belts. Right now they got the 145, they got the 155, they got the 170, 185, 205, and absolute.
135, I think, is the only belt that's been contested that we haven't won yet, which Gio holds right now. Gio's a really tough competitor. I think he's one of the top 10 Planet guys for certain, and one of the top guys, honestly, in that weight class in the world, particularly in the sub-only style. When we talk about who can submit who, I definitely rank Gio way up there. Top 5, hands down. A lot of dangerous weapons, a lot of ways to submit, a lot of submissions that he's very skilled at that not a lot of other people are skilled at, which is tough to train for always. Very creative entrances, very good control of his body and movement. He's a really challenging opponent to prepare.
What can you say about him? The guy is absolutely the best leg locker on the planet right now. Nobody's doing what he's doing. He's chainsawing through people with them leg locks. And guess what? His back attacks are top shelf as well. When Eddie Cummings on your back, man, 90%, you're gonna tap. And you couple that with his leg locks. We haven't seen that much more from him, but it's because no one's been able to stop his leg locks. Just too powerful, too smooth, too fast. He's 5 steps ahead of the game.
About a year and a half ago, I became a professional. Sort of my life took a few turns, and I decided to quit my job and train full time, at least for the time being. While I still felt I was somewhat young enough to compete, although I'm pretty old. I think if you're going to do this professionally, your goals need to be more personal in the sense of, you want to develop a certain skill set. You want to become skilled at this area or that area, or more and more knowledgeable about jiu-jitsu. Have students and produce students who are also competent grapplers. Have a school. Goals like that, I think, are what are my main focus. But yeah, I certainly would love to win certain tournaments, ADCC, EBIs, if I had to pick goals in that sense. But the real goals of this art always need to be, I think, more for your personal development in terms of your skill, your approach to the art, and how your approach to the art changes your approach to life, and to your students. That's really what we do here, is we teach the art. We're going to compete for a very short period of time, but we're going to teach for a very long time, I think John really emphasizes just a rigorous scientific approach to the art. And he's instilled that in myself, and Gary, and Gordon. And what it really does is it forces us to be experimental, to not take anything as sacred. We're not using moves because so-and-so showed us this, or this was shown. Does it work in competition? How can we modify it? Why does it work? These are the questions we ask all the time, every day. And I think a lot of teams, while they're experimenting, while they're learning, are still not maybe taking as scientific an approach as we emphasize here. There was a gap in knowledge where we felt we had an edge. And lower body submissions are sort of unique in the grappling world, where it's very easy to entangle someone in a lower body entanglement, much more so than upper body entanglements. Way easier to lock an ashigarami than it is a triangle strangulation. Even closed guard is hard to wrap relative to an ashigarami. So I think that's why we gravitate towards them. It allows you a measure of control in a much easier manner from which you can start deriving more deterministic approaches to the game. scientific. You can start really analyzing and narrowing down you and your opponent's options. When you start taking a detached scientific approach to it, you realize that you're not special in any way, shape, or form. And neither are any of the other guys. It's going to be about, the techniques we're all going to try to employ on each other, the way we're going to strategize, how we've practiced them. That's going to matter. The game plans we come in with. If I come in there with a crappy game plan, I'm going to get destroyed. Likewise, if anyone else does also. If I come in there with a superior game plan, techniques that are working, and my mechanics are precise, and I'm able to express that, I'll probably have a successful night. And it's that simple. So there's nothing special about anyone in this game. It's just, we all have unique talents and unique abilities, but really I think it's the strategic approach. It's the grinding that makes the difference. Most of what you're doing is figuring out what doesn't work, so you can at least figure out how to counter things or where not to look for movements. I think that's a big part of it.
No one's been able to tap him or even come close to tapping him or put him in danger, nothing. You know how good you have to be to just look at all Eddie Cummings' matches. I mean, I've reffed most of those matches. I've stood there and watched him, and he is a chainsaw with those leg locks, and his back control is right there with the best of them. Man, it's a tall order for anybody to tap out Eddie Cummings.
The truth is, this format is a very different format. This rule set is a very different format, which is why you don't see a lot of the IBJJF world champions compete in this. It's not that they're bad at grappling or that they couldn't win. It's that it's a very different tournament to prepare for. You're preparing for the overtime heavily, which rewards actual submissions, real control on the back. If you're getting ready for EBI, most of your reps are focused on the submissions. You need to stop viewing it as like, we're not necessarily getting the best IBJJF guys, as I think EBI is starting to attract the best guys who feel they can win in this format. So we're going into the gym and they're repping submissions more so than passes or sweeps. And that's really all the distinction is. You see a lot of leg entanglements and such in EBI just because passing the guard is not as effective sometimes as falling on a leg. Or chaining the two together, which is even the most effective, turning into a bit of a different sport than your typical point tournament. And that's okay. As long as it's consistent, we can all train for a specific rule set. And I think that's the idea, to unify the rule set so we can all just be training for the same thing.
Pure position players, they're not stepping up. All the top guys that are position players, they're not stepping up, and it's a good move. It's a different sport. You got to spend a lot of time on rear naked chokes and arm bars and closing the deal. And Rafael Barata Plata, Freitas, jumps into the mix with his incredible guard. Not too many people out there known for omoplatas and not too many people out there inventing their own version of omoplatas. And this guy, he's well known for it. He's done it in MMA. It's called the Barata Plata. I don't even know how to do it, but he's famous for it. He hits it all the time.
I feel that we're black belts. We're the one that's kind of trying to teach the others, so we're kind of like a scientist, and we use Jiu-Jitsu as an experiment. So you experiment everything to come with something cool, I think that I have a mission to pass to my students. I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for, it's gonna be 19 years already, so dedicating a lot for the sport and be competing in a higher level since then, and I believe that my best accomplishments was definitely my Pan Am's title in 2011 and my 3 silver medals at the World Championship no-gi, so I really like to play with the no-gi, so really excited for what's coming. There's so much new techniques involved, people to come with some crazy foot locks. So the guys from Eddie Bravo school, so they have some crazy style, very flexible, I've been competing for so long in a rules that you just have to deal with points and now. So it's really nice because I don't have to worry about many situations that the point make you take risks, I've been training hard. I think that I'm gonna surprise a lot of people, So I've been developing some cool new moves so I can apply without worry about getting any pointed. So I'm so excited. It's gonna be really fun. And the little guys better get ready. my Barato Plata is gonna come along, man. I'm coming with like some sneak setups. Let's see how it's gonna be. If the little guys messed up, they're gonna get their shoulder popped. It's gonna be fun. You know, study because this game is so sneak, and I'm loving it. You know, I've been seeing Eric Cummings, some guys like they are destroying people with footlocks, you know. So since then I got very interested about it, and I'm coming with my own as well. You know, I'm coming with my own tricks. I'm learning and try to be slick there. That's the goal. Loving it. It's great to see that this technique now it's part of the sport, you know. So everybody's gonna have the Barato Plata just like as such a basic technique as a armbar triangle. So the Barato Plata will be there. And just get ready, guys. If you don't know the system, you're wasting time. You better go ahead and get your DVD.
If he hits a Barata Plata at EBI, I think everyone's gonna go nuts.
My favorite part of the sport is to, you know, feel that how it is, the technique, you know, believe that the technique, it exists and works correctly, so.
We will see overtime begin.
The sport is, you're on the back in overtime, and you know, you're starting from there. You gotta be really good there and really good at defending.
Well, it's hard to find something that would be completely fair, you know? And this is something that's fair, you know? You have your option, you're the one who's picking, you know, and then we see from there. Yeah, it's going along, man. It's going in a great path, and I think it's just gonna get bigger and bigger, you know. And I just wanted to be able to keep it following, you know, represent well, fight hard, so they can see like, man, it's so fun to have Barata. I know Gracie Barra doesn't have many representatives in the EBI, so I'm glad to be one of the first ones too. And I'm always gonna be there, represent Gracie Barra for the little guys, you know, bring the fight on, and I wanna go. You know, I know EBI is gonna be all over the world, my friend. So I'm gonna get the belt, and I'm gonna be defending all over the world, you know? So let's do it. EBI, I'm with you.
Everybody that does EBI is a gangster. You have to be a gangster to do EBI. There's a lot of top guys out there that they don't want any part of it.
I've been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 17 years. I started Carson Grace in Brazil. Now I'm at the Armour in Jupiter, Florida. I like it, there's no points, and that makes the fight excited. That's the history of Jiu-Jitsu, is submission. Back in the days, there's no points. You go for the broke. My uncle, which was a black belt back in Brazil, pulled me from Judo to Jiu-Jitsu, and that's how I started. He was the reason that I started training. I think in my Jiu-Jitsu is more old school style. I rely a lot in basics and fundamentals. And from these basic fundamentals, that's when I advance to more advanced submissions or positioning. I definitely like the Kimura the best. I think it works great for no gi. The leg lock game I respect a lot. Do some of them, but I'm gonna be trying to avoid and jump Kimura. Avoid leg lock, go for Kimura. Starting from the armbar is a very vulnerable position, and also when somebody starts from your back, it's a very vulnerable position. You not just need to know how to attack, but you also need to work on your defense. I think it is a good view, and I like it. Jiu-Jitsu is my life. It's everything I am. Everything I get is from Jiu-Jitsu. I wake up in the morning, go to the gym, and leave at night, every day. For 17 years, doing the same thing, taking my whole life. This is what I do full time. Feel a great honor, a great opportunity, and I feel very thankful for this. And I can't wait to display good Jiu-Jitsu. If you make it to EBI, you're definitely in the elite grapplers in the world. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Now there's a new sport, submission-only jiu-jitsu. Now, there wasn't. Before it was just points, the points game, which didn't allow reaping or heel hooks, and then MMA, where heel hooks are effective, but just risky. You didn't have that submission only in the middle now. We did see in Abu Dhabi a rise in leg locks with Dean Lister, but a lot of people, myself included, didn't really jump heavy on the leg locks as much because we figured, this Dean Lister, that guy he's like the Incredible Hulk, and then we looked at Rousimar Palhares and we're like, okay, yeah, we see the leg locks, but he's an Incredible Hulk as well. So now with EBI, we're seeing how important the leg lock game is. When you watch Eddie Cummings just mow down people with leg locks, and Gary Tonin, and what the Danaher Death Squad guys have done, and we're like, oh, okay, we weren't heavy enough with leg locks before. We need to get that together. How do you beat a guy that's better than you at leg locks? You go leg locks with them, it's gonna be it's like Russian roulette. You have to be really good at avoiding leg locks and going after that neck and going after those arms and staying away from the legs. You got to have that game as well as the leg lock game. So we do both at the same time.
No points, just submission, but I won the ADCC in Kazakhstan, so I'm used to play this kind of rules where people go to kill, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 16 years, so jiu-jitsu is all about submission as well. So footlocks are always there, so I used to play a lot of footlocks, and the EBI rules is like, man, you have no time to stall. You gotta go for it. You gotta go for submit. You gotta go to kill. So it's pretty much what I like to do. Try to play hard until the end. I don't give up. So for me, I think it's gonna be good, and many people around the world, they enjoy this kind of rules, So we are here in the KLCC area. I'll show you guys a little bit, okay? The KL Towers. So jiu-jitsu nowadays is it's everything for me. You put food on my table so I can give my family a better life. So yeah, this is the gym that I work. This is where I teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 7 times a week. I breathe Jiu-Jitsu every day. I teach Jiu-Jitsu in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Change! 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, combat! This is my job, so I teach pretty much up to 7 classes a day. I'm focusing on grow Jiu-Jitsu in Malaysia. I have now new reasons to keep on doing Jiu-Jitsu, to motivate people, to look back in the favela where I come from, to show people that they can achieve their dreams. They can. So I believe that I can motivate people doing what I'm doing right now with Jiu-Jitsu. So the EBI, for me, is a great opportunity to show myself, show my job to the world, show that I work so hard and I deserve to be there, paying attention to the athletes, So we are here, we work hard, so we have a good opportunity. So EBI, it's helping all of us, The money is very important, The money is giving a big motivation, man. If I look back in my past, I used to beg people for 50 cents to have a coffee, I didn't have 50 cents to have a single coffee, man. So when I see 20,000 grand for the champion, bro, I have to go for it, It's I deserve it, so I think I can get it. I appreciate it a lot. I'm very, very excited. Man, if I stop to pay attention, think about it, about everything that is happening right now with me, man, I'm making history because my name is written on the first EBI International in Mexico City, so I am part of it. So man, I came it's a little Brazilian guy came out of nowhere, and then he's in the card of EBI 10. So I'm very proud of myself. I gotta thank all those guys, everybody in my life, those who helped me to get where I am right now. So I'm very motivated and very excited. As I said, I'm very excited. I can see the time to go there and hit the mat. Yeah, The hard part is don't see my son for so long. Talking to him just by Skype. And yeah. But now the ABI is giving me this nice opportunity, so I will make things better. I'm working hard, training so hard. Never trained so hard like since so long. You know, much focus now. All my team, Monarch MMA Gym, they support me so much. All my students.
I want to see how bad you want it. And if you don't want it that bad, that's fine. You know, it's not for everybody. I wanted to get the best talent from Mexico City while we're out there, and the two best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts at 135 in Mexico City are Mario Delgado from Renzo Gracie Association, Alexis Alduncin, and Arturo Cadenas Rocha. Although both these guys are relatively unknown in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, they have a huge advantage. They are training in Mexico City in that altitude on a daily basis. It's their life.
Well, the altitude is definitely going to be an important factor. I've lived and trained here my entire life, so it probably won't affect me as much. But I would recommend anyone that's coming down here to come train a couple of weeks or months before. Whenever we have a UFC event here in Mexico, all the fighters come at least a month before to get acclimated to the altitude. And I think it would be smart for the competitors in EBI to do the same. I competed in EBI 1, EBI 2, and EBI 4. And I think my best performance was in EBI 2, which was a Bantamweight, which is closer to my weight category. What I would do different now is definitely I'm more aware of leg locks, which have been what I lose every time. So I've trained myself in that. I've trained my mental aspect more. I think I have a better game, and this is the first time I'm competing as a black belt, so this will be my best performance yet. Normally I'm accustomed to traveling to the States to go fight, and when I go abroad I feel sometimes a little alone and not as supported as I am here. And when I see other people like in their hometown or home city with everyone cheering them on, it's a little difficult. This time around I'm going to feel much more supported. I'm honored to be in the first international EBI as I was to be in the first ever. This will be my 4th EBI event. Every one of them is as special to me, and every chance is the biggest opportunity I had in my life. So my style of jiu-jitsu is very aggressive, always going for the back. I like to do a lot of spiral guard, truck entries, everything that'll lead up to the back, bolos, and finishing off there. Although I have to go abroad always to fight, I'm not a stranger to fighting the odds. Ever since I was little, I fought against having only one eye. I have a prosthetic eye. I've never been able to see out of it. The odds have always fueled me, and I've used it as a motivator to get what I want in life. So, and now this is what I want the most, and I'm going against the odds, and I want to make the title of EBI 10 stay here in Mexico City.
Most of the other competitors, they're not working in altitude, so will that balance out? Will they have an advantage?
Creo que la elevación sí va a ser un factor para tomar en cuenta en este próximo torneo, ya que son rounds de 10 minutos, pero el factor fundamental siempre va a ser la técnica. No tengo preferencia de con quién me toque en el primer round, ya que todos los competidores que van a asistir tienen un gran nivel. Creo que es un evento que va a ayudar mucho a la difusión del Jiu-Jitsu en nuestro país, ya que es uno de los más importantes a nivel mundial y es uno de los más emocionantes por el tipo de reglas que manejan. Me siento muy contento y motivado por ser parte de este EBI número 10, ya que tiene competidores muy buenos a nivel mundial. Yo creo que la Federación está haciendo muy buen trabajo trayendo eventos de nivel mundial y cada vez hay más seminarios con gente de talla mundial. Me gustaría llegar a la final con mi compañero de equipo Alexis Alduncin para que se quede el título en nuestro equipo.
So that'll be very interesting for those two Mexico City fighters. and their advantage in the altitude. From Atos HQ, we have Kristian Woodmansee making his return. Last time we saw him was EBI 2.
Is this a good shot?
Okay.
You look so
It's pretty heroic.
beautiful.
It is epic.
I've been training for a little bit over 8 years, currently training in Michigan at Team SFS, representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu HQ in San Diego. As a brown belt, I'm a world champion, 2-time Pan Am champion, 2-time European champion. Purple and brown belt, I'm a 23-time IBJJF medalist. Competed all over the world, seen venues that I've only seen in pictures at a point in time, and I think altogether, like, those are probably, the experiences are big.
Start that one more time. Talk about what those international experiences mean. What stands out in your brain?
So, like,
you tap some motherfuckers out across the world. Talk about it.
I mean, you went to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
You got to see.
But I didn't do jiu-jitsu in the Coliseum.
I know.
What was the baddest tournament you won? And what was your favorite part about it?
Worlds.
Winning
finals
Worlds.
match in Worlds.
Tell me about winning the
I would
finals
talk
match
about
in
that, man. I would bring out the emotion of what it was like to win Worlds the first time. When you truly realize that, like, you
The
were
camera's still
capable.
rolling. Am I still talking about this?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Tell me about winning worlds, because I've never been a world champion in shit.
Should we have to rephrase? Should you just
Nope,
run
just
it?
go.
Winning Worlds, I remember being in the finals. I remember feeling invisible that day. Invisible or invincible?
Invincible's better.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going.
My style of jiu-jitsu, I would like to say, I guess self-proclaimed, is that I'm a submission hunter. I'm constantly looking for the finish. I like playing guard, I like passing. I just kind of like doing whatever I need to do. I'll give up my back if I think it's the best thing I need to do to get the submission, but I feel like winning by points is frowned upon in my style. Not that it's bad for anybody else, but I just don't like it. I want to make sure that I'm either getting submitted because I'm giving my all, or I'm submitting because I'm giving my all, and just constantly hunting for that no matter what position it's from. I like to consider myself to be very well-rounded, so I don't think I have a specialty. I think if that question was asked to other people, it would probably be that something with a Kimura grip, leg locks, open guard passing, reverse deli hevo on bottom and 50-50. It's a little bit of a collection of a couple different things. I mean, jiu-jitsu is my personal tool for what I do in life, my career. So the money come and goes, the titles kind of get dusty. So to me, it's just going out there and putting on a good show, being a good representative of myself and the sport, creating fans, creating friends, making my family bigger, and just continuing the growth of jiu-jitsu. And that's exactly what I'm looking to do every single time. Everywhere I go, the altitude is a factor since I'm so short. So I'm looking to, don't laugh, that's a serious comment. So, you know, I'm looking to go out there and just, I'm just gonna give it my all. I'm gonna train like I always train. I never really train for specific people or for specific situations. So I'm gonna go out there with a general game plan, with hard training leading up to it, and just be ready to give it 100%. My impression of EBI is that I think it's the future of jiu-jitsu. I see it going far. I see it going far fast. I mean, even in the past 2 years, seeing where EBI started and EBI is now, I mean, like, this is the first one. It's in Mexico, and it's lots of money, and, you know, they're taking care of their fighters. They're flying us out there. And I think it's just a challenge in the current time of jiu-jitsu. I think it's something that's pushing the envelope. It's something that is like, you know, the squeaky wheel in jiu-jitsu. So you have a lot of guys that are really good at submission fighters that they're going out there and challenging themselves, and you have the best of the IBJJF guys going in there as well. So it's nice to be able to see, without politics, you see a purple belt fighting a black belt. I think that's huge for the sport.
I get guys from all over the world trying to get in, and I wish I could fit everybody in. I'm trying to find the best possible competitors. From EBI 2, we're bringing back Jean-Jacques Machado standout, Eric Medina.
The first one was pretty crazy. We didn't know what we were gonna get into, and it was sub only. And that one just brought out a lot of competitors that were really going for it. At that time, there was no money involved, so everybody was just fighting for honor and for love of the game. I feel honored to be invited again. It's definitely a open scale. Everybody on this list is a bunch of killers, you know, high-level black belts on both sides of the house, IBJJF and ADCC. I'm definitely looking forward to testing myself and, you know, shaking up the landscape a little bit.
Although Eric Medina is only a purple belt, trust me, I've trained with him many times, and he was one of my training partners for Metamorphs 3.
I run a junior high wrestling team with Beat the Streets. It's a nonprofit that promotes wrestling within Los Angeles. So pretty much told all my kids, like, if you see Coach just sitting down, not doing anything, you make sure he's working with everybody. And they like to torture me, so that's why I've been getting my extra training. I wrestled in high school and college, and then once that was over, I was looking for something to do along those lines. And I saw a picture of Jean-Jacques on like the website, and he looked really mean, and he was like cranking on somebody. I was like, oh, like that's what I want to do. And stepped in here. It was day one, and I've been here ever since. This has been home. You know, I'm definitely part of like the newer generation of competitors that are coming up. This academy's been here for a long time. Jean-Jacques is here every day. And so it's definitely been a blessing. You know, you could have walked into any other school, and I was lucky enough to wander in here. It's not like I could ask, you know, anybody down the street, oh, what was it like when you competed in the Worlds? A lot of people don't compete, and a lot of people don't know what it's like to be under the spotlight or to actually to represent. And he's always given me some very good, you know, samurai, like, you know, beliefs and ethos to hold on to.
This Jean-Jacques Machado prodigy has an extensive wrestling background, and he has a Darce from Hell in his bag of tricks as well.
You know, when I was in the military, you know, I was in an airborne unit, and I have about 20 jumps, and I think for 19 of those jumps I've been terrified, you know, but you still have to do it. And it's just kind of like when you're next in a match and your blood is pumping and you got that dry mouth, but your legs are walking. Like, that's part of, you know, being a warrior and doing the things that, you know, are necessary for us to go out there and compete. And not everybody could do it. And my hat's off to the rest of those competitors. And, you know, this is what we're all about. Like, you know, put up or shut up. Compete to the best of my ability and be free out there and show my technique.
Sometimes, you know, you got guys that are so into it, man. I'll give a purple belt a chance.
I think Eric is been surprising a lot of people, not surprising me because I see him train every day, how much he's so dedicated into jiu-jitsu. He comes and train, how much he's more involved right now. He's really, I think from the past couple years, was a huge opening on his mind to explore more jiu-jitsu on the mat and outside the mat. And he's been doing that. Might be a surprise for a lot of people there, not for me.
So the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club is a hostel. It's located here in the Valley. We have 4 rooms that are available for jiu-jitsu travelers, and it's been operational for about a year now, and it's a lot of fun. What we really do is, if you're a competitor or a jiu-jitsu nerd like the rest of us, you can come hang out with us. We have mats in the house. We train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 to 8 a.m., and sometimes on the weekends too. And it's pretty much just open mat, extra training, and sometimes you have to fight some guys at the house that you're in the same tournament with. So, you know, that's not shying away from the competition. That's like, you know, going head on, and you know, it's very cool to train at that level with guys that are chasing the same dream too. You know.
I know how much he can do, and I have certainty and sure he's gonna maybe shock the world. And for a lot of people there, they might be surprised, and once again, not for me.
Ricky Lule is Gio Martinez's top brown belt.
Well, training under Gio, I get to see he's at the highest level. At 35 and 45, he's definitely one of the best out there. Submission only especially, so I get to see what the highest level is like every day at practice, and he's there every day too, so I get to roll with him whenever I want, and just feeling what that's like. It's a big benefit for me going against other guys who don't get to feel that every day.
He just ripped through everybody in the qualifiers.
I've been in 3 10th Planet EBI qualifiers already. The previous 2 were at 145, and I've got finished 3rd and 2nd. So this one, Scott messaged me like usual saying, you're in the trials, Gio put you in it. 135 this time, so I was really excited knowing that's my best weight. I had to go through some pretty good 10th Planet guys. A few guys I've rolled with before, one of my teammates, and a few new guys. But I did have to go against probably HQ's one of his best 35-pounders, Ray. And then the guys from Bethlehem were tough. I had to go against JM in the finals, and that was a tough roll. But I was able to finish most of my matches pretty quick. 3 leg locks, there's 2 heel hooks, a knee bar, and then I finished 1 Kimura. I got upper body attacks too. I like going down the legs for the most part right now. But I was happy with how I performed right there. My longest match was probably about 6 minutes. So I don't feel I was in any danger at all during the whole time. I was confident going in, and I'm gonna take that same confidence in the EBI.
Expecting big things from Ricky Lule. You know, he's only a brown belt, but make no mistake about it, he's been wrestling for many years, and all that wrestling he brought right into it from day one.
We're just gonna be there. We're gonna attack where we're good at, not let them play where they're good at, not get in the leg lock battle with them. I feel we have the defense to defend that and attack, and we have our attacks. We're working on our stuff, so we'll be ready for that tournament. Attacks is definitely a different style than traditional jiu-jitsu places. We have a lot of people don't know the truck position, and we really like that position, attacking there in the back. And it's just a little funky, especially under Gio. He throws his breakdancing into it a little bit, so he has a little different movements in there maybe. And it's just a different style. And we practice the legs, and we know how to pass and do the funky stuff, passing and twisters and truck setup. So I think we have a little bit of it all, and it's not, we're always attacking, not boring pace at all. Me and Gio are gonna go up there, we're gonna do our best to keep it with us. We're gonna bring it back to the ocean side with the freaks, and whether it's me or him, like, I'm gonna be excited, whoever it is. I'm definitely gonna go do my best to make sure it's me, but Gio's definitely a very good black belt.
You know, Ricky Lule's a brown belt, but he won his way, and he won the trials for the 10th Planet spot. And then you got guys like Suraj, Budhram, who just started an all-out assault campaign to get in, and I like that.
I'm super excited. You know, I'm like the underdog here, and I'm just blessed. You know, I'm blessed to have the opportunity. There's so many people out there that, you know, they want this opportunity. They want the chance to showcase their jiu-jitsu. They want the chance to win the money. They want the chance to have the belt. Being part of the EBI 10 and fighting all these big names is a huge honor to me. If I started training jiu-jitsu, of course I didn't want to be a world champion. I didn't want to fight these high-level tournaments, but if you talked to me when I was a white, blue, purple belt competing, you would have never heard me say that I'm going to do leg locks and heel hooks and, you know, fight this big tournament and stuff. And these names they're legends to me. I mean, Eddie Cummings, Martinez, like, these guys are, you know, high level. To be in that card is just amazing to me. It means the world to me. It means that people believe in my jiu-jitsu, and people believe that I can win, and I believe myself that I can win as well. I just love to be aggressive. I just love to train jiu-jitsu. Like, if I'm not training hard, I'm not training at all. Like, I just love the fight. I love the tenacity. I love pushing. I love being aggressive. I love getting smashed. Like, this is some things I love about jiu-jitsu, and what style that I want to bring to the TBI is I just want to push the pace and don't stop and go for the submission. You know, I love the 10-minute rounds, submission only, and then if it goes to overtime, it's not a ref decision. It's going to be starting in the back with the spiderweb armbar, and I love this position. You know, I want people to know my jiu-jitsu. I want people to know about Vero Beach, Florida. I want to put Vero Beach on the map and show that, you know, we do have great jiu-jitsu out here. I train every day. I train twice a day, every day. I'm injured. I'm in the gym. I'm helping people, and you know, jiu-jitsu is everything to me. You can't just be skilled. You can't just be tough. You need to be a great person, well-rounded. So jiu-jitsu is my life. It's definitely helped me through every obstacle that I've ever had, and it's showed me persistence. Growing up, I came from New York, moved to Vero Beach just because of hanging out with the wrong crowd in New York City. And my family moved me to Vero Beach to kind of start a new life, but I still found trouble, always hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I had to find something that I needed to change, and jiu-jitsu was something that I found, and
I found Renato Tavares, he's a father figure to me. He's a mentor, coach, everything for me. I thought to myself that, competing is something that's so hard and so difficult. He found inside of me that, I could be a champion. And the first day I walked in, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to be great, and I want to be the best. His drive pushing me and telling me, okay, look, you need to push harder, you need to train harder. Every minute counts, every second counts. So every single day I've been training since and trying to give the jiu-jitsu lifestyle to kids and everybody that comes through Vero Beach or even beachside fitness martial arts. I just want to be number one. I want to be number one in the world. I want to be the best, 135. I want to be the best athlete that I can be personally. I want to push myself every single day. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we have to learn off those mistakes, and I feed off mistakes. You're the one that's responsible for your success, not anybody else.
Barry Yoshida's fought at 55, he's fought at 45, and now he's dropping down to 135. And this, he says, this is his real weight. And at 135, I wouldn't be surprised if Baret got deep, and he has the finishing power to finish anybody. His closing techniques, his submissions are top shelf. So you can never count out Barret Yoshida, especially at bantamweight. 135, he did good at 55 and 45, but now at 35, things are gonna be different.
I've learned that EBI has its own unique jiu-jitsu style. It's been evolving since the first EBI. And initially in the first EBI, it was like the other jiu-jitsu guys were in there and stuff, but now it's turning into its own kind of like EBI jiu-jitsu style. I haven't worked on any new styles or techniques. However, because of the way that EBI has been going, I've worked a lot more leg locks and like back positioning and armbar escapes and armbar attacks. I'm not so worried about the smaller guys attacking leg locks. I spent a lot of time training in Japan, like way back. It's hit or miss a lot of times with those leg locks. So it doesn't bother me that I've got caught the last time. I keep coming back to the EBI because it's just one of the goals that I want to accomplish. I want to win the EBI belt. Or at least give my best effort. I think what gives me my edge will be the mixture of like the traditional style, the classical style, and an unorthodox style. So the mixture of the two will give me my edge. I think the audience can expect a more technical fight than the heavier weights. Also, like a lot more action, a lot more submissions.
UK star Ashley Williams returns at his real weight. We had him at EBI 7, the 145 division, and he had a tough match with Rafael Domingos, and man, losing to him, there's no shame in that.
First time was a bit surreal, like getting flown to LA, competing against all these like amazing guys, and being considered, that I should be competing on the mat with these guys, was outstanding.
Ashley returns with his UK following at his real weight, 135 bantamweight. He might be the dark horse.
This time, the preparation's been good. We know what to expect, and we know the score this time. So definitely coming with big hopes this time. So the leg lock game was obviously a big thing at the moment, and obviously the Dan Death Squad are exceptional at it. It's definitely something I've improved on. The last EBI, I believe I only started doing heel hooks 2 months before I did that EBI, and I'd never done sub only before that EBI. So since then and now, a lot of my training has been focused on that style alone, and making sure my leg lock defense in particular is up to scratch. I think like beating them in their own game is a fool errand, so you're not going to do it. Like that's crazy talk. I think the best way to beat them is make them play your game. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to make sure my top game's heavy, pass, play the points for the positions. Because when you get good positions, you can get the good submissions. Until I'd fought on EBI, I didn't truly understand the killer that is that overtime. You know, I trained the overtime rules. I trained some tactics, and I looked at like where I wanted to go with the match or what I wanted to do. But man, when those like spotlights are on you, when you're on that stage, you know, it's just crazy. So I think the fact that the more people do it and they realise maybe the overtime's not where they want to be, I think that 10-minute match is gonna start pushing a lot harder. Especially with that cash prize up for grabs. I think we're gonna see a lot of submissions, especially this lighter weight. You know, these guys are gonna be spinning, attacking, and creating a lot of opportunities. You know, one of the best things about it is the fact that they offer up cash prizes for the submission within the regulation. The jiu-jitsu players find it hard enough anyway to make a living out of the sport as an athlete, as a competitor. So, you know, it's one of the best things for leading the sport into a professional manner that I believe it should be, you know. I believe every competitor should do this for the money, because if you come to EBI and you're just thinking about that title, it means that you're willing to go to overtime. It means you don't care within the 10 minutes, the sub within the 10 minutes. And I think if you're not going to EBI for the regulation time to get the submission, I don't even see the point in putting your name down in the first place. I've heard of stories of guys going to Mexico City to compete in UFC and other events, and not really taking into account that acclimatization, and you know, they lose bad because they gas hard, and it takes it out of them hard, you know. So the plan is to head out early, like super early, you know, 12, 14 days before, start acclimatizing slowly, take my time, train, and then just keep seeing how the recovery goes. I think the main thing is that I don't think anyone can tell you what it's going to be like, and I don't think anyone can replicate it fully. I think you've just got to go there. You know, it's a tough ask of anyone. So I think every guy who's entered this tournament and is willing to put themselves through that, they deserve a bit of respect. You know, like it's going to be a tough environment to compete in, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge. Yeah, it was a great experience. Unfortunately, I've been invited back. So I'm really excited, and again, I just like to thank everyone who's shown some support. I hope this time, you know, more guys are tuning in. So I'm hoping to just keep pushing forward and do the UK proud. I think it's a brilliant opportunity for someone like myself. You know, I come from Wales. I'm 24-year-old black belt. You know, I am the youngest UK black belt currently. And this just gives me somewhere to showcase my talent, and gives me somewhere that the guys can support me from.
First time EBI's left downtown LA, and we plan on doing it much more. I'm feeling really good about this.
When we start Jiu-Jitsu in America, we start in our garage. We're not sure how far we'd go, but we know we're going for a better place. I don't think Eddie ever imagined he would have his own school, no limits at all. I think the technology is on our side, the art is on our side, the desire to grow is on our side, and I think this is just the beginning. I think people's gonna hear a lot more about this event. I think he's little by little, inch by inch, are gaining more and more territory and showing people that how beautiful is our art and what we do and how much we believe in it. There's no limit at all.
Yo fui invitado por Víctor Dávila, que es gran amigo mío. Me invitó para ir a la competición de EBI en Los Ángeles. Yo como encantado de ir, fui con mi hermano, fui 2 veces ya y me encantó de ver lo que vi. La regla me encantó muchísimo, la organización estuvo muy bien. Es muy emocionante, visto por el público, estaba llenísimo. Entonces la gente se divertía, es lo más importante. Entonces no es algo aburrido. No, la regla siempre hace que hay mucha acción en el combate. Entonces yo estoy diciendo eso porque me gusta de verdad ABI. Me encantó y estar viendo seguramente y quiero un día poder tener esa oportunidad de pelear un día en EBI, porque seguramente esa regla ayuda a nuestro deporte. Seguramente EBI, el mejor evento del mundo. Hey!
The Mexican fans have been tremendous. The support is just outrageous, and we're very excited about this show in Mexico. It's going to mark history for EBI, and hopefully we can take EBI all over the world.
135, that's my shit. I'm the champ. I'm coming to get my title. Where else but Mexico City? Viva Mexico, amigos. I'll see you soon. Freaks don't sleep. 10 planet freaks taking over the world.
So there's nothing special about anyone in this game. It's just, we all have unique talents and unique abilities, but really I think it's the strategic approach. It's the grinding that makes the difference.
20,000 grand for the champion, bro. I have to go for it, It's like, I deserve it, so I think I can get it.
Just be ready to give it 100%, and I don't think the altitude is going to be a factor, and if it is, you're not going to hear it as being a reason for losing, so I guess we'll see what happens.
I'm so excited. It's going to be really, really fun, and the little guys better get ready.
I want to breathe and sleep and only think about this EBI title. I don't want to think about anything else.
And this is what we're all about. Like, put up or shut up. Do the best you can.
So I think every guy who's entered this tournament and is willing to put themselves through that, they deserve a bit of respect. Like, it's going to be a tough environment to compete in.
The history of Jiu-Jitsu is submission. Back in the days, there's no points. You go for the broke.